My father left when I was 2. My mom told me a story once that he was supposed to come for Christmas, and I stood there at the window all day looking for him, and he never came. Every one of these people write my check. I try to spend as much time as I can with them, and if we don't rise to the occasion all the time, then I feel like I've failed.
For decades, Mike Wolfe captured audiences as the laid-back antique hunter on a hit show. But behind the scenes, his life was anything but simple. What if everything you thought you knew about him was just the surface of a much deeper story filled with secrets, setbacks, and unexpected twists? From a near-fatal car crash to private battles within his personal and professional circles, Mike's journey is a compelling saga of survival and reinvention. Could the man fans cheered on for years have been living a double life, wrestling with challenges that remained hidden until now? The hidden truth behind Mike Wolfe. Mike Wolfe's public image as the easygoing antique picker timelessly cruising America's back roads masks a complicated reality, one shaped by personal battles and carefully guarded secrets. His fans have always admired his passion and charm, but beneath that laid a man wrestling with pressures few knew about. For years, the narrative crafted around Mike portrayed a smooth, almost effortless rise to fame. Yet insiders whisper of tensions and struggles quietly endured out of the spotlight. This disparity between the on-screen persona and real life has left many wondering what truly defined Mike Wolfe's journey. The story that most people were told hardly scratches the surface of his lived experience. Rather than merely a television celebrity, Mike is someone who faced extraordinary challenges both professionally and personally. Behind the scenes, layers of conflict, loss, and reinvention paint a portrait of a man far more complex than reality TV's simplified version. Fans might be surprised to learn how Mike's career, relationships, and even his health were tested in ways the world never saw. Part of this hidden narrative involves the decisions Mike made to protect his privacy and craft a positive image. While other reality stars embraced the public eye's invasiveness, Mike chose discretion, leading to questions about why some facts never surfaced. Was this a deliberate shield against invasion, or a sign of deeper turmoil he preferred to face alone? This silence fueled speculation, but the reluctant quiet also underscored the emotional labor behind the scenes. Questions linger about moments when the public's understanding and Mike's reality diverged sharply. Why did he remain silent amid rumors and public criticism, even when it seemed to cast him unfairly? These gaps in the story only amplify the intrigue, suggesting there are painful truths hidden behind the familiar smile and affable manner. The silence itself became a shield, guarding wounds and complex relationships that were never fully exposed. In reality, Mike's life involved a series of setbacks that no amount of reality TV editing could erase. Personal loss, fractured friendships, and health scares all played a role in framing the man behind the camera. Yet, these chapters were mostly absent from public discussion, preserved as private battles rather than broadcast drama. This contrast between public visibility and private vulnerability is central to understanding his narrative. Recognizing this hidden truth invites a reconsideration of how fame and persona can mask deeper realities. Mike Wolfe's story challenges viewers to look beyond surface impressions and question what remains unseen by those who captivate millions. It indicates that behind every public figure, especially one shaped by entertainment, lies a complex human experience that often defies the neat storylines offered to audiences. Nonetheless, the true turning points in Mike's hidden life reveal themselves in moments of crisis and transformation, moments that would redefine not only his trajectory, but also how we perceive him. These pivotal instances expose fractures beneath the surface gloss and set the stage for changes that resonate far beyond television ratings or social media personas. They are the keys to untangling the mystery of his double life. As we peel back these layers, it becomes clear that the real Mike Wolfe story is not just about antiques or television. It is about survival, renewal, and the complicated dance between public and private identity. But one event, in particular, stands out as the catalyst for everything that followed: a near-death experience that forced him to reassess everything he thought he knew about his own life. Life changed forever on that fateful night of September 12, 2025. The turning point: car accident. For Mike Wolfe, September 12, 2025 was more than just a night out. It was a brush with death that would shake the foundations of his world and force him to confront realities he had long avoided. Driving through Columbia, Tennessee, in a vintage Porsche 356 with his girlfriend Leticia Klene, a sudden, violent crash altered the course of their lives. When a 76-year-old driver abruptly pulled out in front of them, the collision left devastation in its wake. The event created disastrous results, which created an effect that seemed to approach a miraculous outcome. Mike, who possessed fast reflexes, used his body to block an incoming threat that could have resulted in death by using his strength to break the steering wheel's impact. The patient sustained minor wounds, which included a broken nose and various bruises and skin abrasions, and he was able to depart the medical facility after 1 day. Leticia experienced more severe injuries, which included a broken jaw, broken ribs, a fractured sternum, and a partially collapsed lung, which required her to undergo multiple surgical procedures during her extended recovery period. Mike used Instagram to post messages about his relief and gratitude, which he declared through his words that, "By the grace of God, we are both safe and okay." The statement conveyed his emotional state of being at risk of dying, because life needs special measures to protect it. His external behavior showed people a different side of his inner battle, which he fought during that time. The accident served as a body challenge for Mike, but it also functioned as a defining moment because he used this moment to confess that he had spent most of the last 18 months he had spent. The crash served as an imperative signal that demanded that he must assess his life priorities while he narrows his focus to essential matters. A moment of chaos created a rare chance that allowed him to see his future path with a better understanding. The accident gained extra importance because of his relationship with Leticia at the time of the crash. Official records indicate Mike was married to Jody Fayeth, yet here he was with another woman, raising questions that only deepened the mystique around his personal life. The man appears to lead two separate lives because his contradictory behavior creates this impression. The turning point demonstrated that celebrity life brings both dangerous situations and unpredictable events as permanent companions. The public image of the person who dedicated himself to exploration and discovery throughout his life now faces new exposure after this incident. The event destroyed the belief that people have perfect protection against danger, which demonstrated to all people, even him, that all people experience unexpected events. The accident created public awareness about how people face consequences from their personal choices and their public actions. The driver who caused the accident, Lerone Heads, received DUI charges, together with additional grave charges, which connected the incident to broader social problems. Leticia's gradual recovery process showed the public the true human impact of her situation. These realities grounded Mike's experience amid fame's fleeting glow. The crash created physical damage and legal consequences, which marked the beginning of a crucial period in Mike Wolfe's life, as the events brought together his experiences of losing people, loving others, and taking responsibility. The situation required him to find the right way to show his public image while maintaining his true self, which has not yet been possible for him. After such a profound turning point, the complexities of Mike's marriage and family life began to unravel in ways that shed new light on his personal world. Marriage, divorce, and family secrets. Mike Wolfe's marriage to Jody Fayeth was a bond rooted in both love and complexity, shaped by years spent navigating the demands of fame and family behind the scenes. They were wed on September 8, 2012, in Leiper's Fork, Tennessee, an event themed around the Coen brothers' film Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? This detail reflected the uniqueness of their relationship, a partnership that blended personal affection with shared creativity. Throughout their union, Jody played a central role not only as a spouse, but also as an essential manager of Mike's social media presence and many business affairs. Together, they had a daughter, Charlie Faith Wolfe, born the same year they married. Mike has carefully shielded her from the spotlight, only occasionally sharing glimpses of her life on private social media accounts. During the first decade of American Pickers' success, the Wolfe family presented a stable domestic backdrop, contrasting with the adventurous road life Mike portrayed on television. Their shared properties, including a house in Lipes Fork and one in LeClaire, suggested a semblance of normalcy amid the chaos of celebrity. Yet, beneath this surface, tensions brewed. By June 2020, cracks had appeared in the marriage, culminating in Jodi's secret filing for divorce in November. The cited reasons centered on irreconcilable differences, but the details remained tightly guarded. The settlement finalized in 2021 required Mike to relinquish significant assets, including their Nashville home and a property in North Carolina, while also committing to pay approximately $634,000 in alimony. Jodi's claims extended further, seeking a share of American Pickers' royalties through 2026, a request that underscored the financial intricacies involved. In many ways, the divorce reflected a one-sided property division, stripping Mike of much he had built over the years. Despite retaining several properties, probably those overlooked by his ex-wife, the rupture was a profound blow, a private ordeal shielded from fans and public scrutiny. This chapter of Mike's life remains shrouded in mystery, with few aware of the internal dynamics that led to the separation. His silence on the subject, the choice to keep the struggles out of public view, only deepened the sense of an untold story. The complexities of their split reveal the difficulties of maintaining a personal relationship amid the pressures of fame, business, and privacy. Additionally, the divorce exposed how fame does not necessarily protect people from very real emotional and financial hardships. Mike's experience underscores that celebrity couples face challenges common to many, but amplified by public attention. The discreet handling of the separation illustrates the effort to preserve dignity and focus on private healing amid upheaval. The impact of the divorce also rippled into Mike's professional and personal spheres, influencing future relationships and decisions. It set the stage for a new chapter, both hopeful and uncertain, involving fresh connections and renewed focus on rebuilding. Yet, the scars of this break also contributed to the dual nature of his life, where public perceptions rarely aligned with the quiet realities. As we understand more about Mike's complex family narrative, the next relationships in his life come into sharper focus, especially the romance that followed and challenged public assumptions. The complicated romance with Leticia Klene. Following the painful dissolution of his marriage, Mike Wolfe found renewed companionship in Leticia Klene, a woman who shared many of his passions and offered him a fresh start amid difficult times. Leticia, a former model and motorcycle enthusiast, connected deeply with Mike through their mutual love of vintage vehicles and open roads, interests that had long defined Mike's personal and professional identity. Their bond quickly became visible to attentive followers who noted how her presence seemed to breathe new life into Mike. During a period marked by loss and upheaval, the couple established their bond through authentic emotional ties that emerged from their matching core beliefs and everyday patterns. The two partners adopted the traditional American design style, which Mike had used throughout his professional journey, while they worked together on projects that included a Harley-Davidson commercial. Their public activities, which included attending the Day of Reckoning film premiere in Los Angeles in March 2025, showed that their relationship had developed beyond a typical romantic connection. People observed their relationship through a combination of secretive behavior and limited sharing of personal information about their lives. Mike and Leticia both showed satisfaction with their existing relationship when people asked them about marriage. The couple reached a mutual agreement about their relationship status, which all parties involved understood to be non-exclusive. The couple faced multiple challenges together, which included a severe car crash that resulted in Leticia suffering major injuries, while Mike sustained minor wounds. The traumatic event created negative impacts on both individuals, but it also strengthened their ability to support each other during challenging times. Leticia obtained her recovery through a process that involved both bodily and psychological obstacles while staying out of public view, which demonstrated their ability to maintain a deep personal connection. The relationship between Mike and his partner provided him with a solution to his isolation problems because she served as his friend who helped him deal with his developing self-identity. Leticia created a special area for empathy and stability, which enabled her to understand his life through its various high points and low points and distinct stress factors. The relationship between Mike and his partner, who had experienced complete personal loss, served as an essential foundation that provided him with stability and optimism. The public interest and the unofficial documentation of Mike's ongoing marriage to Jodie Fayeth created conflicting challenges for people who needed to understand his situation. The situation created rumors about his secret existence because his actual life differed from what he publicly showed. Mike maintained a public relationship while his private life developed through two different stages, which provided the audience with suspense about his dating activities. Mike maintained his relationship privacy through their ability to avoid media coverage of their most private moments, which showed his desire for privacy throughout his years as a television personality. The couple showed people how to build romantic relationships by solving problems that their work environment required them to face, with their need to create public displays. Their choice to keep things secret created a strong contrast to the public disorder Mike faced in other places, which made their relationship function as a safe space. The relationship between Mike and Leticia needed him to share his personal experiences because their relationship needed him to find safety through their shared battle against life challenges. The opportunity allowed Mike to retrieve lost components of himself from previous times while he worked toward finding harmony between his public image and his personal existence. The complexities of Mike's personal relationships were not unique in his life. Perhaps the most defining and painful fissure lay in his decades-long friendship with Frank Fritz. Friendship and fallout with Frank Fritz. Mike Wolfe's long-standing partnership with Frank Fritz was the backbone of not only their television success, but also a profound friendship spanning over 40 years. Their chemistry on American Pickers wasn't just staged, it was the natural extension of a bond forged in adolescence. Meeting in the 8th grade, they shared childhood dreams, countless picking trips, and an unspoken rhythm that made their dynamic uniquely authentic. Fans cherished their genuine interactions, disagreements, and camaraderie, which felt worlds apart from the manufactured connections typical in reality TV. Their relationship, however, came under strain as years progressed, culminating in a painful and public falling out. The exact reasons and timing of their split remained largely behind closed doors, but the aftermath was highly visible. When Frank's departure from the show was announced in July 2021, media narratives swiftly cast Mike as the antagonist, a portrayal he chose not to challenge publicly. For years, he absorbed criticism quietly, further complicating an already fraught chapter of his life. Frank himself fueled speculation by claiming the show had been biased in Mike's favor, and revealing that the two had not spoken for years. He suggested Mike's decision to replace him with his younger brother Robbie was deliberate, igniting fan debates and polarizing opinions online. Mike's carefully worded Instagram tribute, a gesture of goodwill and nostalgia, was publicly dismissed by Frank as insincere, signaling a deep gulf between them. Behind the scenes, the fracture had devastating personal impacts, especially during the isolating years of the COVID-19 pandemic. Frank's back surgery and subsequent opioid prescription, combined with the strain of broken relationships and solitude, led to struggles with addiction. Without the anchor of his longtime friend and companion, Frank faced battles that increasingly spiraled beyond public view. Production requirements demanding negative substance tests forced the network's hand, effectively sidelining Frank from the show and further damaging his career and legal rights. This professional exile added to his personal woes, contributing to a tragic decline that culminated in his untimely death. The loss deeply affected Mike, who later reconciled enough to be present at his friend's passing, closing his eyes himself in a somber, intimate moment. Frank's death did not just represent the loss of a friend, but also marked a turning point for the show itself. As a central figure, Frank was integral to the program's identity and success, and his absence led to instability in the series' future. This ripple effect underscored how intertwined their fates had become, both personally and professionally. Mike's public acknowledgement of Frank's death, aired on his newer show, revealed his lingering pain over their unresolved conflict. He expressed regret over their failed reconciliation, describing their estrangement as a whole big misunderstanding. This admission opened a rare window into the human cost of fame and fractured friendships. The saga between Mike and Frank illustrates the complexity of lifelong bonds caught between loyalty, business, and public scrutiny. It serves as a poignant reminder that even the closest relationships can fracture under pressure, leaving scars that endure long after the cameras stop rolling. The private and public tensions Mike navigated in love and friendship reveal the layers of a life lived in dualities, between what was shown and what was felt, between survival and loss. Rise of American pickers and stardom. Before Mike Wolfe became a household name, he was simply a man obsessed with rusty gold, tirelessly hunting treasures across America's back roads for nearly 2 decades. His dedication to collecting and uncovering forgotten relics was not a sudden obsession, but a lifelong passion born from humble beginnings in Illinois and Iowa. Mike's journey from dumpster dives to primetime television was fueled by this relentless hunger for discovery and authenticity, a drive that couldn't easily be replicated or faked. Mike established antique archaeology in Iowa during 2000 because his continued efforts enabled him to transform his private collection into an authentic commercial enterprise. The store quickly became a central location that collectors and enthusiasts used to find items, while people from outside the area came to see what was available. The foundation provided Mike with both credibility and resources, which he used to present his original television show idea to networks. The show concept remained unsuccessful until Mike spent several years pitching his idea, which he failed to sell multiple times. The History Channel made its first positive response to the show concept, which caused all things about the project to shift completely. On January 18, 2010, American Pickers premiered to an audience of 3.1 million viewers, making it the highest-rated debut in the network's history since Ice Road Truckers in 2007. The show achieved success because of its simple and relatable plot, which tapped into viewers' nostalgic feelings and their love for discovering historical facts that were obscured from view. Mike and Frank Fritz used their authentic friendship and professional skills to become the leading figures who transformed reality television through their work on this new television show. Directors and crew members recall moments during filming when Mike would discover rare items, like a 30-year-old untouched motorcycle. His expression showed complete astonishment, which contrasted with his attempt to assess financial results. The show achieved its cultural impact because of this deep passion, which served as the essential component that elevated it from being simple entertainment. American Pickers maintained its ability to attract millions of viewers throughout its entire season run, which resulted in higher ratings than American Idol and direct competition with Storage Wars. The show attracted viewers through its genuine depiction of different American cultures and its exploration of personal tales that connected to the antiques and the energetic performances of its stars. Mike's authentic character and magnetic personality enabled him to lead the show, which depended on his performance to maintain its entire narrative structure. The series received extra value from supporting actors who played supporting roles to Danielle Colby, who controlled the operations of the antique archaeology shop. Her presence helped give the show a stable home base, complementing Mike and Frank's road trips. The team produced a television show, which developed into a community where pickers and fans forged connections through their mutual enthusiasm for their shared history. While the limelight illuminated Mike's television success, it also cloaked the complexities beneath, a growing tension between public persona and private life that would later come to challenge his career and personal identity. Behind the scenes, business and personal life. Outside the cameras and the show's spotlight, Mike Wolfe's life and ventures were layered with challenges and careful maneuvering. Maintaining multiple business interests alongside his television persona required constant balancing acts, rarely seen by the public. For instance, managing Antique Archaeology's physical stores, first in Iowa and later in Nashville, demanded considerable attention amid the whirlwind of filming and appearances. The financial impact of Mike's real estate assets on his monetary situation proved to be substantial. Business properties he owned in Leiper's Fork and other areas brought him certain financial security. But his divorce from his wife resulted in substantial financial changes that affected his asset collection. He lost most of his possessions to his ex-wife, yet he kept specific properties that she showed no desire to acquire. His choices about property distribution during their divorce process showed his strategic planning. Mike protected his personal information with strong security measures, which he considered essential to his life. Mike protected his daughter and personal relationships from media exposure by choosing to keep his private life hidden from public view, which differed from the standard behavior of reality stars who shared everything with their audiences. The public conjecture maintained a distance from his actual life because of his precise selection of information, which allowed him to handle celebrity life while preserving his regular routine. The process of handling his public image brought him various challenges, which resulted in multiple disputes. Public accusations against Mike, internal organization problems, and changing fan attitudes created obstacles that affected his professional duties. The decline of his friendship with Frank Fritz, who had been his friend and business partner, brought about both emotional distress and professional difficulties. The public situation between them escalated into a complete breakdown, whereas Mike handled his personal matters in a calm and organized manner. Through his Indian Motorcycles endorsement partnership, Mike established a direct link between his endorsement deals and the Americana lifestyle which he promoted. His partnerships provided him with brand reinforcement, yet these relationships required him to work on brand maintenance and public interactions, which helped him build his diverse professional portfolio. Mike expanded his artistic work beyond reality television by taking on acting roles, which included his performance in the Western film Day of Reckoning. His artistic growth beyond reality television represents his desire to explore new pathways, which he accomplishes through his complete artistic development from his reality television foundation. Maintaining the Antique Archaeology stores, balancing family responsibilities, and nurturing evolving relationships showcases a man intent on redefining himself amid changing circumstances. This busy, layered existence reveals the complexity behind the public figure adored by millions. Such insight into Mike's business acumen and personal resolve highlights how success is rarely linear, often a mosaic of public triumphs and private struggles entwined in unexpected ways. The new chapter and moving forward. Now, in his early 60s, Mike Wolfe's life is marked by both reflection and renewal, as he continues to evolve beyond the confines of his earlier television fame. Living in Tennessee, he balances co-parenting his teenage daughter alongside maintaining a relationship with his girlfriend, Leticia Klene. This phase reflects a man striving to harmonize family responsibilities with his ongoing professional ambitions, a blend of personal growth and pragmatic adjustment. Still recovering from the 2025 car accident, Mike has embraced the enforced slowdown as an opportunity to simplify his life and focus on what truly matters. The accident served as a stark reminder of life's fragility and motivated him to reprioritize, emphasizing health, relationships, and meaningful projects. This new mindset distances him somewhat from the relentless pace of reality TV stardom, allowing space for healing and introspection. Mike remains active in the entertainment world, hosting a new television series on the History Channel that builds on his familiar passion for discovery while exploring fresh territory. This step suggests a deliberate pivot, showcasing his versatility and resilience while connecting with a loyal fan base that has grown alongside him. His presence in new programming reflects both continuity and change in his career narrative. In addition to his continued television work, Mike reopened and manages the antique archaeology store in LeClaire after closing the Nashville location. The store functions not only as a business, but also as a physical representation of his enduring dedication to Americana and collectible culture. It remains a gathering point for enthusiasts and a tangible link to the legacy he has built over decades. His entry into acting demonstrates his commitment to pursuing new, uncharted paths in his career. Mike Wolfe made his first major acting role in the Western movie Day of Reckoning, which came out in March 2025. The project allows him to extend his artistic abilities through his portrayal of a character who attempts to reshape his public identity while remaining dedicated to his genuine storytelling roots. Mike keeps building his endorsement partnerships, which include his ongoing connection to Indian motorcycles. The connection enables him to show his passion for classic automobiles and American culture, while building his identity as a public figure. His partnerships allow him to maintain a successful brand that connects with dedicated customers who belong to a specific market segment. Mike operates Two Lanes Guest House in Columbia, Tennessee, which exists as his second business venture outside of his media career. The special guest house enables fans of antique archaeology to experience the show through their stay in rooms that display artifacts from the program. This project combines hospital services with his personal background to demonstrate his dedication to making real-life encounters. Mike Wolfe's story reveals how public success often masks private struggles and the courage it takes to face them. His journey from celebrated picker to a man balancing family, health, and reinvention reminds us that resilience isn't about perfection, but persistence. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives behind the headlines.